Good afternoon, everyone. This is Carlene again. On my drive home, I'm here just thinking, just sitting here and thinking about changes. I used to be working night shift and now I'm working day shift. And it's a dramatic change for me in my life. Go from sleeping in the daytime to working in the daytime. But as I was driving home and thinking about all the changes that I'm making and I have made this year, I'm thinking how many people I know that are afraid of change. What is change? Change is growth. That's what change is. If you change the way you're thinking, your mind will grow and you will think better thoughts and more positive thoughts. Change allows you to move from one situation to another. Change allows you to change the way you look at life and look at your circumstances. But as I think back, I know of a few people or a few friends that I've had that are afraid to change. People are afraid to change where they live or their job. I was never a person that's afraid of change. I will change in a heartbeat, but I realize this year my changes has been different. I think I'm going the wrong way. I just got off work and I am taking a change in my route because this route is actually takes me away from the bumper to bumper traffic of the 60, but my route is kind of bumper to bumper today itself. And because this is only my second or third day taking my route, I felt like I made a wrong turn, but maybe because it's bumper to the bumper, it's just taking me longer to get to my turn. But anyway, back to our change situation. Change is hard for people. Change is hard because people don't like, they get comfortable. Not that they don't like, but they get comfortable in their situation and they get comfortable in their day-to-day life and their day-to-day routine. So change is hard for people. It is hard for most people. It's never been hard for me to change. I've been through many different changes in my life, but as I was saying, this year I was looking and I'm saying, wow, I've gone through a lot of changes this year. Some of them were forced, some of them were me asking God for change, like me asking God to move me from night shift to day shift. And it is hard. I might be rambling, but I'm trying to gather my thoughts because it's been a long week. My body's getting adjusted from being up all night and sleeping all day to now sleeping all night and being up all day, and today is my day 5. And I am just trying to get home out of the traffic. It's Friday night or Friday evening traffic. It's 4:18 in California. And this change is drastic for me because it's allowed me right now. I have to change my whole routine. I've had my night shift routine down for 4 years. For the 4 years that I've been night shift, I've had school, I've had church, I've had kids to take care of. Sorry. And I've gotten that routine down to a T. But now, because I prayed and I asked all my church family and all my friends to pray because my body was tired of being up all night and sleeping all day, and it throws your whole body language off, I decided, pray and seek and the Lord shall provide that you need. I am going the right direction. More sidebar. And he did provide after earnestly praying for a year and applying for the right position, I was able to change my shift. But as I said, I had to change my whole routine now. This is my first work week. I don't have this routine down pat yet, because the first day I started on Sunday, there was not much traffic. So getting to work was a breeze, and getting back home was a breeze. But now I am trying to figure out my new route that I found via my patient's husband. My patient, sad to say that I lost her yesterday. She passed away, but her husband was a sweetheart, and he was able to direct me to this route, and I was very much appreciative of it. And I gave him a hug and a kiss yesterday, and for his loss, and also for him being willing to share his knowledge of the road and the way to get from Fontana to Moreno Valley. So as I said, change is hard. I'm not yet adjusted to my change. I've had my school routine, my church routine, getting my kids off to school in the morning down set between my days off and my days on. So now that I am mornings, I have to figure out, this is my biggest challenge, because I just started a new business, a business that will eventually get me out of working this 9 to 5 or 7 to 3:30 8-hour shifts eventually, because your mindset has to change to where the Lord is eventually leading you financially, spiritually, and just physically. So I have to figure out how to get my homework done on time. What days when I get off work I'm able to sit down and do my homework. What days I'm able to, on my days off, to put my business in front of me and make the adjustment and the calls and the introducing somebody to what I'm doing, and me putting in the knowledge of the business into my head. So now I have to fit all of that into a whole day. For me, I thought working night shift was excellent at first, because I felt like it allowed me more time to do things, which is not necessary. Do things but not sleep. And my sleep schedule was all screwed. But as I said, change is not easy. Change is hard. But as we adjust our minds and our old beings, we can adjust to change. It is not actually bad. It is good, because it moves us from a comfortable state to an uncomfortable state. That is what change will do to you. It'll move you from comfortable to uncomfortable. And a lot of people don't like to be uncomfortable. That's why they don't like change. They don't like change because they don't like to be uncomfortable. And God gets us uncomfortable so he could move us to where he needs us to be. He has to poke and push and put us through the wheel. That's, most people said, the wheel. He'll put you through the wheel to get you to change and to get you to move in the direction that he has for you. And some of the things that he's moving you to is things that you've prayed for and you've asked him for. Like I have prayed and asked him for morning shift, and he's moving you into this. And I've prayed and I've asked him for a business that will help me to develop myself mentally, spiritually, and financially. And he's also done that for me. But now the adjustment for me is that I have to adjust my whole being to the change. My mind, my spirit, and my body, because now my body has to adjust to sleeping at nights and waking up in the morning. And now my brain has to be rewired to say, this is the time that I've allowed you to do the business. This is the time I've allowed you to study, and this is the time I've allowed you to spend with your kids, and this is the time that, so I have to rewire. And that's why people don't like change, because you have to rewire your own being. On my business side, I have been rewiring my brain to think positive thoughts, to be able to put the work in and not see the results right away, but knowing that the result is coming because I've put the work in. People don't like change because they don't want to work. Change takes work. Change takes work. But what change also do, it grows you. And after we become adults, we believe that we stop growing. We said a kid's growth stop at they stop growing at 18, 21. We think when we get to 40, 50, whatever age you feel like you're grown, you feel like I'm grown, this is it, I make my own decision, I don't need nobody to tell me anything, this is it. I believe that change pushes us to grow, because when change makes you uncomfortable, you have no other option but to grow. It pushes you to change. Change pushes you to growth. Because when you change your attitude, and when you change your mind, and when you change your mindset, not just your mind but your mindset, what you think about a certain things and what you perceive things to be, when you change that, it's you growing. When you change your mindset about how your future look and what you should look like, it grows you up to say, I understand, I'm bigger than yesterday, I'm bigger than that, I'm bigger than what I've been through. Grow me up, Lord. That's what I'm gonna say today. I want the Lord to grow me up, because change forces us to grow. And a lot of people are afraid. I wouldn't say people are afraid of growth, but they don't understand that changing the way they think, changing their circumstances, pushes them to grow. Changing their circumstances pushes them to grow. It pushes them to grow in just a different kind of way. And if we don't like change, that means we don't like growth. That's why certain people are stuck in the same situation, the same job, the same community, around the same people. They don't elevate their mind because they're afraid of change. So if you're afraid of change, you won't elevate your mind, so you won't grow. You won't grow. You won't grow. And my traffic is growing right now on a Friday, so my secret way to work and back is actually been discovered by some more people on a Friday afternoon. But it's okay, it's Friday. I'm comfortable with not being home at a reasonable time. But I was just making this recording just because I was thinking about change, and I was thinking about what change really means to me, and what I perceive change to be. Change is change grows you. It forces you to grow up, because when you change your circumstances and you change your situation, it allows you to meet different people. Because me changing my shift from night to day shift, the people that work in the day shift, I will never see them at night. The doctors that come through in the day, the therapists, all the people that come to see my patients during the day, they don't come through at night. So I wouldn't have known them. I wouldn't have met them. I wouldn't have associate myself with them. And change allow you to meet new people that might teach you new things, that might grow you in a different way, because things that happen in the daytime on my job do not happen at night. So all of the things that transpire and the way the unit is run and the way the hospital is run in the daytime is different from how it's run in the nighttime. So change allows you to learn new stuff. It allows you to see a different place from a different point of view, because it's the same place. I'm in the same hospital. I'm on the same unit, but it allows me to see. It allows me to see it at a different point of view, which is the daytime point of view. So change allow you not only to grow up, but it allows you to see things at a different point of view. So if you don't like change, or if you're a person that's afraid of change, I'm challenging you today. Don't be afraid of change. Change is good. Change is a natural part of a life. We have to change. When we were a kid, we don't look the same way like we looked when we were a baby, when we came out of our mother's womb. No, we look different. And when that's in the physical, you look different. You grew up and you changed. You went from this cute little kid to this cute little cute little teenager, and then beautiful woman, and now, if you turn a grandma, I guess you'll be a beautiful grandma. But change allows you to grow. That's all I'm getting in my spirit right now. Change. And I wouldn't look at it that way until God just dropped it in my spirit. Change allows you to grow. We don't realize how many stuff is associated with growth. Change allows you to grow. And I'm laughing because I'm stuck in traffic. Change allows you to grow. And don't be afraid of change today, because you need to grow up in a lot of areas in your life. And I realize that I need to grow up in a lot of areas in my life. And if I don't change my situation, and I don't change my mindset, and I don't change the way I think about certain things, I will never grow up in that part. I had to change the way I think about finances. Since this is my topic, finances, I'll use that as an example. I have to change the mind. When I started my business earlier this year, I had to change the way I look at my finances. I had to change the way I think about finances. And I'm also a financial planner. That's the business I'm in. I won't leave it at that. Financial. So I had to I had to change my mindset on the way I look at my finances, and the way I look at things, and the way that I look at my future, and what I am hoping to accomplish, and who I'm gonna help, and who I will help. So it's a whole development. When you start a business, it's not only about the making the money, but if you look at it from the right perspective, it is a total makeover of you as a person. If you approach it the right way, it can totally change your life, not only financially, but mentally and spiritually. And you'll look at things differently, and you'll look at life differently, and it will develop you in a different way, and it will develop you just differently. So change will move you to different places. One of the other part of change is if you change your address, if you change where you live. Oh God. If you change where you live, then you're in a whole different ballgame. And a lot of people are afraid to change their address. They're afraid to move. When I came to this country, I was 17 years old. That was my first biggest change in my life. My biggest decision was getting on a plane from Jamaica, moving to the United States of America. That was drastic change for a kid that all I knew was my little island and my little friends and my high school and my mom and dad, and got on a plane, not even with anybody, but with my whole being, saying, I want change. And another story about me moving to America, that change, I spoke that into being as a kid, as a young lady growing up. I was in high school and I would tell my friends every year when it approached closer time for me to graduate high school, I said, when I graduated, I'm moving to California to live with my auntie because I have to go to Hollywood. She lives close to Hollywood. And I spoke that for years and years and years, not knowing that I would go to the embassy, get a visa, and would be able to travel. Never even went to the embassy. Doesn't even know none of that stuff. Don't know how to get a visa. Don't know how to, nothing, but I spoke it into being. So change has to do with mindset. It has to do with growth. Change is a word that, it covers a lot of stuff. So if you're not afraid of change, if you're not afraid of stepping out, it's a good thing, because you can change stuff like this because you're not afraid of change. The people that are not afraid of change will always strive. They will always do good in life. The people that are afraid of change or afraid to step out on themselves or step out of their comfort zone will be forever in one box. They will never see their full potential. They will never see their full potential if they're afraid of change. If you're afraid of change, you will never see your full potential. Change doesn't mean, because some people are saying, oh, what you saying? Change if I stay on the same job for, that just dropped in my spirit. If I stayed on the same job for 20 years, that's not change. You can stay on the same job for 20 years, but don't stay in the same place on that same job for 20 years. Move around. If it's a big company, move around. You might have started at the bottom as a secretary or a housekeeper, or wherever the bottom level of your company is. You might have started there, but guess what? By the time you get to your 15 and 20 years, you should be a manager or a nurse, or that is change. Not saying that if you live in the same area or work in the same area, you are afraid of change. People live in the same community, but what have you done for the community? What have you done to develop yourself? What have you learned about you? What are you involved in your community? You can stay in the same house, but if you don't get involved in the what neighborhood watch, and you go to the community park and get your kids involved in the games, and not knowing everybody in your community, but at least the people on your street. If you live there for 20 years, the change is learning to know somebody different every time. So there's your growth. I'm not saying that if you don't change your address, or if you don't change your state, or if you don't move to a different state, but what have you done in that place that grows you up? What have you done that moves you from one level to a next? That's what change is. It's growth. So if you're not afraid of change, you're not afraid of growth. Because growth develops you. It builds you. It turns you into a different person. If you stay the same way when you were born, if you stay just like a baby the whole time, what is the sense? Why did God design you? He designed you so you will change, and change along with time, change along with, oh, now my battery is low. Change along with everything. Yeah, my drive is getting long today, and I have a few stops to make. But I just wanted to speak on change because it was in my spirit, and I'm deciding that every time something is in my spirit, if I'm afraid, or if I don't want to get on Facebook and make it public, because not all the time everything in my head I want to make public right away. I can share it later. I am doing recordings. I'm recording stuff so I don't forget it. When God drops something in my spirit, like I'm driving home and he's dropping this in my spirit, I'm recording it so I can keep a record of it. And that's what he dropped in my spirit, change, because my whole my whole situation have changed this whole week. November 17th, I started a new shift, and it is a big change for me. It's a big change. So don't be afraid of small changes, big changes, medium changes, any kind of changes in your life. Don't be afraid of change, because change grows you up. Change allow you to grow up, whether it is mentally, physically, or financially. If you change the way you think about money, you will grow up, because now you know how to manage your money better. You know what to do. So then you'll save more. If you know how to manage it, then you will save more. If you know where to invest it, then you will make more. And then on a physical part of you, if I'll use your body and exercise as an example. If you know the proper exercises to do, the right diet to be on, the right products to use, you will change your whole physique. You will lose weight. You will change your outlook. On a spiritual end, that's your growth. On a physical end, that's your growth. But on a spiritual end, if you change your routine of how you study, of how you receive the word, of how you look at the word. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. How is your faith? How is your faith? How much faith you have in the word that you're reading? That's your spiritual growth. How much faith you have in the word that you look at every day? How much faith you have in the prayers that you pray every day? How much faith you have in the things that you hear from the pulpit or from your pastor or wherever church you go into? What is it? Ooh, I just lost my train of thought. God. What is it that you've learned? What is it that you can change? If you don't make changes, you won't grow. Change causes you to grow. Change causes you to grow. And since my battery is getting low, and I'm going through the canyon, and that's the other thing. If I went on Facebook Live, I might have cut off in the canyon. I am going through the canyon right up here in California. I love you all. Don't be afraid of change. Know that change causes you to grow, whether it is financially, spiritually, physically. Don't be afraid of change. Because if you don't change the way you think, you won't change your outcome. If you don't change the way you think, you won't change your outcome. So all of your physical man, your spiritual man, your spiritual man, spiritual man and physical man demands change. So just don't be afraid of change. Change is good. I sound like I'm babbling sometimes. Change is good. It's not bad. And it allows you to grow in so many ways. It allows you to grow. I have to make a part 2 about change, because I can't make this video too long. But I know there's more that the Lord will drop in my spirit about change, because I'm going through it, and the Lord allows you to talk about what you go through. He gives you a different insight of something when you've been through it. So change allows you to grow. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of growth. Growth is good. It makes you a stronger person. It allows you to share with somebody else, and it allows you to just live your full purpose. Change, growth. Change allows you to grow, and it allows you to live your purpose. If you're in this world and you're not living your purpose, you do not feel complete. So But for you to feel complete, you can't be afraid of change, because change allows you to grow and it allows you to walk in your purpose. I thank you for listening. Have a blessed Friday afternoon. This is Carleen signing off for now on Friday. What's today's date? On Friday, November 22nd. Love y'all.